Be honest. How many unread emails are on your iPhone right now? 100? 1,000? More? That number doesn't mean you're behind. It means that nobody ever showed you how to set this thing up properly. Until today. Stick around. I got you covered. I'm Dylan Stewart, the Mac Whisperer, and today I've got 6 tips that are going to turn your iPhone's email from something that you dread into something that you have complete control over. Make sure to stick around until the end because I've got a MacWhisperer Power Tip loaded with gestures that'll have you moving through your inbox like a ninja. Before we dive in, if you'd like to follow along, grab your free smart guide by scanning the QR code on your screen or by clicking the link in the description. Smart guides are simple step-by-step PDFs that walk you through everything we're going to cover today. So what do you say? How about we hop over to the phone and get started with tip number 1. Most people never set up their mail program properly. They just hunt around, swiping from one screen to the other and scrolling back and forth trying to find whatever email they're looking for. But you're not most people, and after today, you're going to understand the importance of setting up the Mail app properly and how to use the Favorites section. So let's open up the Mail app right here. Once we do, let's click our back arrow in the upper left-hand corner until we get to the Mailboxes screen. Once you're here, you should notice a section up at the top that has some familiar icons like a couple of inboxes and maybe your trash or your junk. Below that, you're going to notice all of the email accounts you've got installed on your phone. You'll see them in this list here, and you can collapse them by pressing the little arrow to the right, or you can leave them open. But inside of all of these accounts are all the folders you use on a regular basis, which means when you need to get something out of a folder or put something into a folder, you've got to scroll up and down through this list. But that's not necessary because this section up at the top is called your Favorites section, and you can completely customize it to make sure everything you need is just one click away. To customize it, click the Edit button in the upper right-hand corner and check or uncheck any of the things that you use regularly. But no matter what you turn on or off, you're going to want to turn on this flag section up at the top because in a few minutes I'm going to show you how to use flags and you're going to want to be able to find them easily. You can even select any folder from any one of your email accounts to add it up to your Favorites section by coming here and clicking where it says Add Mailbox. Here you can find that folder that's buried 43 folders deep, but the one that you go into and out of 50 times a day. Come right into your email account, find whatever folder it is that you need regularly, click it, and press the Done button in the upper right-hand corner. That's going to add it into the Favorites section, and you can do that with multiple folders, but don't add 1,000,000 folders because then you're going to defeat the purpose of keeping it clean and simple. I strongly recommend turning on the All Inboxes, All Drafts, All Sent, All Junk, and All Trash, but everything else is pretty much up to you. The goal is to have everything you need in the Favorites section up at the top so you never have to scroll through all of these other accounts down here hunting for that one folder that you use every day. Once you've got all the things you want turned on, you can also reorganize them by pressing the 3 lines on the right side to take something like the flag section and put it up at the top, or to take the junk and bring it down a little lower in the list. Once everything looks exactly the way you want it, click that Done button in the upper right-hand corner, and your Favorites section will be ready for you to use and simplify everything you need to do. Tip number 2 is for anyone whose inbox looks like it needs its own sorting facility. You see, in iOS 18, Apple added something called categories, and it allowed you to separate all of your email into 4 separate buckets. But most people turned it off because they were afraid they were going to miss messages. The reality is that we're already missing tons of email because there's so many things coming into our inbox that the important things are getting buried. But by separating your mail into different categories, you can find what you're looking for faster. If you did turn it off, let's turn it back on by clicking on the 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner here and shifting from the list view over to the categories view. Now up at the top, you're going to see all 4 of your new categories: primary, transactions, updates, and promotions. There's a fifth hidden category that you'll see to the far right here. That's the all mail section, which temporarily turns off categories in case you are actually missing an email and need to find it quickly. Let's start by explaining what each of the categories is intended to do. It starts with the primary category. Primary is for the stuff that actually matters. Personal emails, real conversations, and any time-sensitive notifications from the other categories. You can tell when there's a time-sensitive notification from one of the other categories because you'll see a little icon on the right side like we see here. Those are all from the updates category. This one with the green shopping cart is from the transaction category. So primary is for real, important communications and time-sensitive notifications from the other sections. To the right of that, we've got the transaction section. Transaction covers your receipts, your orders, your confirmations, your shipping updates. Basically, if it has to do with money, it's probably in the transaction section. Moving one category over, you end up in the updates section. The updates section is for news, for social media, and for emails or newsletters from the companies that you actually want to hear from. And to the right of that, promotions is basically just junk. Mail uses Apple Intelligence to sort your messages into their own categories, and honestly, it's pretty good right out of the box, but it's not perfect. Sometimes an email will end up in the wrong category, but the key is to train it. And you don't need to train all of the sections. You really just need to train the primary section and the promotions section. So here's what you need to do. Start in the primary section and go through all the emails you've gotten over the last month. If there's anything in there that shouldn't be considered important, like this message right here, recategorize it. The easiest way to recategorize it is to swipe from the right to the left, not a full swipe, just a partial swipe, until it reveals the More button. Clicking on the More button right here, you can scroll up and you can categorize the sender into a different section. I'm going to take this and put it into the Updates section instead, just like that. So you want to do that with everything from the last month in the primary section, making sure you're removing anything that just doesn't belong there. Once you've properly trained the primary section, swing over to the promotions section and do the same thing there. Anything that's here that shouldn't just be thrown away or that you don't consider junk, move into a different category. Remember that updates is what you should use for messages from companies you want to hear from. For example, this is an email that I really like to read. Let me show you a different way to categorize it. Let's click on this message and go to the dots in the upper right-hand corner. Clicking them, there's Categorize Sender there as well. You can click on it, and for this I'm going to move it out of Promotions and into Updates, so that anything that this sender sends me will end up in Updates instead of in Promotions. This is important because ultimately I want to go through this Promotions section and I want to delete pretty much everything that's here. And it is important to note that you are not stuck in any of the categories that you're in. Right now I'm in Promotions. I can click away and over to Primary or over to Updates, but I can also go into the fifth category, the All Mail category, to see everything all at once. It's really easy to get to the All Mail section either by tapping on the far right icon you see here, clicking on the active category a second time. So right now Updates is active and I can click that again, which sends me to All Mail. Or I can swipe from the right to the left on this bar and that will knock me right into the All Mail category. That just temporarily turns the categories off so you can find things. But now, here's the tip that might make your whole week. You know that promotions section? Well, when you swipe to delete something from there, it doesn't just delete that individual message. It will delete any other messages in your inbox from that company or sender. So I don't really want to hear about this slide belts message, and I don't really need any of their other messages as well. I can swipe from the right to the left and delete any messages from that company with one click. Let's do that again. I don't need these messages from Medium. Let's do a quick swipe. There's 3 of them gone here. I don't need these messages from Brand Featured either. A quick swipe, there's another 3. By using categories and swiping from the promotions section, you can delete tons of emails rather than dealing with them individually. So if you've been deleting your promotions one at a time by clicking on the trash icon, that ends today. Tip number 3 is almost insultingly simple, and I don't mean that in a bad way. If you look at the bottom left corner of your inbox, you're going to see a small icon that looks like a funnel. That is the filter button. Go ahead and tap it. Notice that when you activate it, it turns blue. To the right, it tells you what it's filtering. Right now, it's filtering by unread, which is the default functionality for the filter button. Let's tap it again. As soon as I do, any messages that I previously read show up. But when I click it, it hides any messages that I've read, showing only my unread messages. But there's even more to it. Once you turn it on, if you see where it says filtered by, you can filter by other tools as well. Tapping on it here, you'll see options like different accounts that you can turn on or off, unread messages, flagged messages, messages that are addressed to you or CC'd to you, mail with attachments, only messages from your VIPs, or only messages that were sent today. Which means that you can use that filter just like you can use some of these categories in the favorites section. You can either have your today section on here, or you can come into the filtered by and turn it on to just showing you today. But the single best thing about the filter is that you can stack multiple criteria on it. So I could come in and I could say I only want to see messages in my MacWhisperer account that are flagged from today. And when I click the checkbox, that's all I see. Just messages in my main account from today that were flagged. But don't forget to deactivate the filter when you're done with it. You can tell when the filter is active because it's blue. And if you leave it turned on, you will be missing messages without realizing it. This is one of those features that Apple never talked about, and honestly, it's a complete game changer. Tip number 4 is one of my absolute favorite mail tools, flags. A flag is your personal signal on an email that says, I need to come back to this. It's a small marker that stays visible in your inbox so that important emails don't disappear into the scroll. And you can see the flags whether you're in the flag section or whether you're in your inboxes. And it's really easy to flag an email. All you have to do is swipe from the right to the left like this and click on the flag icon you see right here, and then boom, the flag appears right next to that message. But to kick it up a notch, let's swipe from the right to the left, and instead of clicking flags, let's click on the More button. Because here you're going to realize that flags aren't just one color. You have 7 separate colors that you can use to differentiate different kinds of emails. And these flags synchronize with the colors on your iPad and on your computer. So rather than just randomly flagging things with random colors, if you give each flag its own functionality, you exponentially improve your ability to find things quickly. What kind of things are good to flag? Well, maybe there's an event coming up in a week or two, or maybe you're traveling and you want to make sure you've got all your flight and hotel information in one place. Or maybe you just placed an order and it hasn't arrived yet and you want to make sure it stays top of mind until you receive it. There's a ton of different reasons why you can flag things. You can also flag an email when you're reading it by clicking on it and coming down to the reply button on the lower bar here and choosing the flag section there as well. Most people think that they either have to leave everything in their inbox, or mark everything as unread, or file every single message as soon as they receive it in order to find those messages quickly. But now you know that by flagging something, you can grab it in a moment and then get back to business. Tip number 5 is called Remind Me. You see, flags are great for I'll get back to this later, but Remind Me is when you need mail to tell you to get back to this at a specific time because you know yourself and you know you're going to forget. Here's how it works. Swipe left on any email and choose Remind Me. You can be reminded in an hour or later tonight or tomorrow, or you can click Remind Me Later to set any date in the future, including a time. When that moment arrives, this email floats right back to the top of your inbox as if it just arrived. This is genuinely one of the most useful features in all of iOS Mail, and almost nobody uses it. You can use it for anything time sensitive, a bill you need to pay on Friday, an email you need to follow up on next week, a doctor's appointment confirmation you'll need the day before the doctor's appointment. Set that reminder, forget it, and the next time you're in your inbox, that email is right on top, waiting for you. Tip number 6 is all about how we send our messages. You've written the email and it's perfect, but the timing isn't. Maybe you want the email to land first thing Monday morning instead of getting buried by all the stuff over the weekend. Or maybe it's your mom's birthday next week and you're afraid that you'll forget and she'll call you out on it. No worries. You can build that email right now, and then when you're ready to send it, press and hold the send button in the upper right-hand corner here instead of tapping it. When you do, a menu will appear with the option to send later. You can send it tonight, send it tomorrow, or click send later to choose any time up to 2 weeks in the future to send that message. So now you can come in, plant it on the right day, and click the checkbox. And then when that day and time comes, Mail will send it automatically, but it'll sit in your outbox until then so you can make changes to it or cancel it if you need to. Remember that we have our send later section right in our favorites, so I can come in here to edit it anytime that I want. Which brings us to the other side of sending messages, the oops, I didn't mean to send that yet. If you've ever sent out an email and regretted it immediately, or forgot to add an attachment, or left somebody out of the email, there's a simple option that can save the day. You'll find this option by swiping up and coming into Settings, come down to the apps at the bottom, and then over to the M for Mail, and inside of Mail at the very bottom you'll see an Undo Send Delay option. You can choose to turn it off, leave it on for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, or 30 seconds. Just enough time to fix it or stop it before it's gone forever. When you have the send delay turned on, if you send a message like this one, you can click Undo Send in the upper left-hand corner right here to pull it back so you don't regret that drunk email or that mean message that you sent. Between undoing your sends and pre-scheduling your emails, this tip is going to make sure you are on top of your email game. So right about now, you're probably completely blown away by all of these amazing new tools and functions that were hidden in plain sight right in front of you. And if you've already found something that's going to change how you use your mail app forever, then give this video a thumbs up. It's the fastest way to help other people find this content, and it lets me know I'm bringing you the good stuff. And if you have a question, a comment, or an awesome mail tip of your own that I didn't mention, drop that into the comments section. I love to hear from you guys. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, why not? Too busy weeding through your email to have the time to click that button? Don't do that. I'll make it easier for you to save time and get more things done on your Apple devices than you ever thought possible. Just hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and you'll know the moment I drop new wisdom. And now, let's stop swiping away those emails long enough for us to get into the Power Tip. For today's Power Tip, you are in luck because it's not just one Power Tip. It's a stack of tips all related to the best gestures to use on Mail on the iPhone to get the most done. The people who know these moves fly through their inbox. The people who don't are still tapping through every menu on every single email. Let me show you a faster way. Gesture 1, swiping. In your inbox, you can swipe left or right on any message. Swiping left reveals tools like the unread tool and the remind me option. Swiping right reveals trash, flag, and more. All you have to do is do a partial swipe and then tap whatever you need. But when you really get good at it, you'll recognize that a full swipe can do even more. So for this, let's get rid of some junk. I can do a swipe from the right to the left like this and click delete. We can see there's 6 messages that are going to get deleted. But if instead of doing a partial swipe, I do a full swipe all the way across, it deletes everything all at once. The same principle works from the other direction. If we swipe from the left to the right partially, we have the unread option and the remind me option. But if we do a full swipe from the left to the right, it marks that message as unread or read without us having to do any additional taps. So the short swipe is so that you can pick your action, but the full swipe is to execute it immediately. Once you learn the difference, you'll move through your inbox twice as fast. Gesture number 2, the two-fingered multi-select. This one changes how you clean up your inbox and how you sort your email in general. Instead of tapping on each message, and instead of clicking the select button in the upper right-hand corner to select messages manually, you can take 2 fingers and run them right down your screen like this. And it will mark every message that you swipe across as selected. It'll even leave the select option open so you can run your finger down a few more, or a few more. Now, once you've got your group of things selected, you can trash them by clicking the button on the bottom right, or flag them on the bottom left, or file them by clicking on the folder in the middle. This is dramatically faster than tapping each message one by one, especially when you've got a stack of emails you're ready to clear out or file. Which brings us to gesture number 3, the two-handed move. This one takes a little bit of practice, but it's worth every second. Start by selecting a group of emails, either with the two-finger drag or by going into edit mode. And now, once you've got those emails selected, take one hand and press down and hold on any one of those messages. You'll notice it pops, and then the entire group starts to lift and float. Once you've got it held under your thumb, you can keep holding it, and with your other hand, you can navigate to the sidebar and to any folder that you need, drop them right in, and they're all filed all at once. Once you get good at it, it's one of those moves that makes you feel like a superhero. And now for gesture 4, it's less of a gesture and more of a simple tap. One of the frustrations that most people have around mail is that all of the best functions are scattered around the app under different menus. You have to be Sherlock Holmes to find them all. But if you're in your mail list and you press and hold on any message, you're going to get a pop-up that's going to give you all of the tools in one place. Simple and easy. You can reply all, flag, you can mark as read, you can mark as unread, you can notify, you can move messages, trash messages, or even block senders. Almost all of your tools are available right from that menu. And it's easy to get there by coming to any message and just pressing and holding until it pops open and gives you the menu down below. Think of it as the right click of the iPhone. Anytime you're not sure what's possible with an email, press and hold, and the answer will be right there. And now for tip number 5, I give you my absolute favorite iPhone gesture of all. This tip is so powerful, it can't be contained by the Mail app. This tip works in every single app on the iPhone and on the iPad, and it's going to save you a ton of time. Because sometimes you're all the way at the bottom of a long email and you want to get back to the top, but you don't want to have to scroll back up. Or maybe you're way at the bottom of your email list and you want to get back to the top. How do you do it? Well, regardless of whether it's inside of an email or inside of the list or in a different app, you do it in the exact same way. So let's do it in both ways. Let's start by coming into a message and scroll down to the bottom of this message. If I want to get to the top, all I have to do is tap on the top of my iPhone screen. That's right. I like to click on the clock right here, just a simple tap, and boom, you're right at the top of that email. Or boom, you're right at the top of your inbox. And as I said, that tip works everywhere. So if you're inside of a long message, you can tap and it'll jump you right up to the top. And if you're all the way at the bottom of a website, no problem. Tap to top. Easy and simple. Tap to top is going to be a tool that you use again and again and again. So now let's bring it all home. Here's everything we covered today. Tip 1. Set up your favorite section for one-tap access to the folders that matter most. Tip 2. Use categories to let mail sort your inbox for you. Tip 3. Don't forget that filter button. One tap to see all of your unread messages, or a second tap to adjust the filter to find pretty much anything you're looking for. Tip number 4. Flag the emails that need your attention now and find them in your flagged mailbox later. Tip 5. Use Remind Me to bring important emails back to the top of your inbox at exactly the right moment. And tip 6. Use Send Later to schedule any email to go out at precisely the right time, and use Undo Send to recover that email before it goes out and before you get embarrassed. And of course, you can't forget all of those amazing Power Tip gestures. That is a seriously capable set of tools, and every single one of them has been sitting inside of your iPhone the whole time. Now, if you haven't grabbed your smart guide yet, this is a great time to do it. Scan the QR code on your screen or tap the link in the description below. I hope you learned a ton today, but remember, there's always more to learn. Check out this video over here for even more amazing Apple tips and tricks. I'm Dylan Stewart, the Mac Whisperer, and I'll see you in the comments.